How you doing? 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 It is October 18th between 3:30 and 3:45 p.m. and I am walking in about a mile onto a 25-acre private parcel owned by my neighbor, who I got permission from during opening week of archery this year. So I'm about 3/4 the way in, walk down a power line to this mountain edge, and I walk down a ridge system. And I think it's best walking down the side of the ridge as fast as you can away from the area I'm hunting, and I'm following this creek bottom to hopefully, carry my scent a little more, hide my noise, give me a low profile. Hopefully I'm not seen, because I'm just about lined up right now with the suspected bedding area, in which I saw a very mature, probably 4-year-old buck bedded in 2 or 3 weeks ago. And this is my second attempt at setting up down here, trying to figure out his movement. So I need to get moving here, set up. I got the brand new Sony Z70 with me. First time using it. Received it from Amazon in the mail today. Very excited, so let's get going. Taking my time, trying not to sweat. I got 2 specific areas I want to possibly set up in, which are going to end up being between 2 and 100 yards. 100 and 200 yards away from my suspected bedding area, and hopefully we'll see some mature buck movement heading down from bedding to the ag land southeast of here before last light. So let's do it. All right, so now I'm in my spot. I'm in a little white pine. I'm just inside on the corner of a wooded area and 2 different pieces of open field, and then maybe about 300 yards away from that, across the field, is some ag land. We've got corn and soybeans, but I've got this hillside in front of me. Behind me I've got an old reservoir. So sitting inside this corner, from what I know, deer come from above me on my right, down from bedding into the field as the sun goes down. But what I don't know, if there's anything coming out from behind me on the hill that I have not really ever hunted on. It gets really thick back there, so they could just as likely be coming down from here and going just below me, or out into the field right on my left, which I have a couple shooting opportunities for. There are some evident trails traversing along the side of this ridge in front of me. It's pretty cool here. This is as far down on this private land that I can hunt. I'll just be shooting what's on the very edge, basically coming in the wood line or in the woods. Good afternoon. It is October 23rd, just about 4 p.m. It's pretty warm this afternoon. I got out this morning and sat in the same exact stand. It was 37 degrees this morning. Promising, beautiful, beautiful morning, good conditions. A lot of squirrels, and I did have one doe come out in front of me and finishing off some acorns just below me for about an hour. I'm a big fan of this spot. This is the second time I've set up my tree stand in this particular tree. I'm a big fan of it because not only am I on this point and where these transition lines meet together, but it's a great travel corridor area, and my wind is always coming in real good and picking up my scent and pulling it behind me in the power line, and then the power line takes care of it. It's magic. Just goes away. No, but the wind is very consistent here, always blowing over my back and staying high. I've never spooked any deer here, which is pretty important considering I've spooked a lot of deer this year. Mainly just doe. I've only had one buck encounter, which means that I'm very, very due for a nice buck experience tonight. Welcome. It is Wednesday, October 23rd. 1 second. It is Wednesday, October 23rd, 5:02 p.m. Eastern Time. And took me an hour and a half to get from my house to the spot and set up. Not too bad. Really worked my way up the side of this mountain along the edge of this ridge line in front of me. And I'm in a spot, once again, I've never set up before. I'm gonna say that a lot this year because it's the first time I've owned a lone wolf. But it's pretty anxious. Came storming in here, and then towards the last like 5 or 10 minutes of walking, I really slowed down, and plan was to just find an area where I felt like if I kept going any further that I would run into some really thick vegetation and bedding potentially, and I just want to get myself up as close to that as possible because every night it seems that the only deer I see are during last light, and I was close to some action, but you miss it because of the dark. So walking up, I just kept an eye open for sign. I was looking for footprints, fresh deer shit, the clumpy big shits, and you know, any rubs or scrapes. I had a couple rubs recorded or marked on onX from late season that I scouted for, but I haven't been back here since then. I found two scrapes on the ground, not far from each other, like 10 or 20 yards apart. One is definitely was hit this week, whereas the other one maybe not for a week or so. They're set up right down to the left, front left of me. It appears that there's a trail running through from my front left to my back left. Either way, I like my tree. I got some branches cover me on the low side for when anything comes close. And I've got good 45-degree shots and straightforward shots. So all in all, it's good. I only have an hour and a half left, so I better shut up and be ready. Let's do it.